Hey y'all. So, we talk a lot here on my channel about building and growing your email list, right? It's an essential part of any marketing program for any small business. But how do you actually do that? How do you grow an email list? You don't plant it in the ground and put some fertilizer on it, or do you? Today, we're going to talk about 10 ways that you can grow your email list that aren't particularly onerous and don't require you getting your hands very dirty. Okay, this one probably sounds pretty obvious, but I bet you haven't been doing it. Make sure that you're sharing the link to your lead magnet on your social profiles. So maybe have it in your link in bio in Instagram. And if you have a link in bio in TikTok because you have enough followers, do it there too. You're sharing it on your social profile every week or every 2 weeks or something. Maybe it's your personal account, maybe it's your business page, maybe it's both. But make sure you're getting it out there in front of people. Because honestly, a lot of folks aren't necessarily going to come looking for the value that we have to share. But if we bring it to them on a silver platter, they will be ever grateful, right? Okay, so share it on your social platforms as a post, as a video, as a whatever. But also put your lead magnet link in your bios, including YouTube. And not just in your channel bio, but in your description of every YouTube video. If you look down there below, you'll see that I've got lead magnet links for I think 3 different lead magnets that might be useful to you. I hope they are. I hope you will check them out, right? But they are right there for you because otherwise you may never get your hands on them. Something else that I have started doing with my clients' YouTube videos is I have been putting that lead magnet link in a pinned comment on the YouTube video once it's published. So you can actually go in and with a little bit of text and then the link to your lead magnet and pin it so that anybody who comes to your YouTube video will actually see the link to your lead magnet. Something else that is incredibly powerful, and if you haven't experienced this yet, you probably will eventually, but collaborate with a friend and share each other's lead magnets with your audiences. I did a free training about a week ago, and one of my dear friends, without telling me she was doing this, she actually sent the information about my free training out to her email list. Now, her email list is larger than mine. I think she's probably got 1,500 to 2,000 people on her email list. And some of those folks actually signed up for my free training, which was a lead magnet, by the way. And those people might never have known about me if she hadn't told them. So utilize the networking and the connections that you have to get your lead magnet in front of other audiences. Another way that you can do this is way number 4, which is to participate in a summit or maybe a bundle or something else that can help get your lead magnet in front of people that you don't normally interact with. A free summit is a great way to do that as a participant. I'm not telling you to go run one because that's a heck of a lot of work. But also, you might see like I said a second ago, like a collaboration with a group of people. Maybe you're putting together some other kind of business bundle that you're going to offer in some other way. Maybe you have a friend who has a program and they will share your lead magnet within their program or within maybe their members area or their membership portal. You might think about writing a guest blog on a colleague or friend's blog, or even a big blog out there. There are a lot of calls for blog writers out there, and you can be a guest blogger. So not only does that get you in front of a whole new group of people, that also gives you a little boost of credibility, right? Because you have been recognized as an expert and you have communicated your expertise to a whole different group of people. Along the same vein, coach a session or deliver a free training in someone else's program or group. I've done this a number of times, and it's a great way to share your knowledge with people who may be kind of tangentially related to what it is you do, but they may be brand new to, if you're a Pinterest expert, they may never have thought of Pinterest before. They may not have a contact in the Pinterest world. But if you get in front of them, deliver value, and then you include the link to your lead magnet in your training or in the replay of your training or whatever, you can actually grow your list that way. And that could be an evergreen thing too, especially if it's a like a member area for a course that is evergreen. I shared a lead magnet in a group probably 2 years ago, and still about once every 2 months or so, I'll have somebody from that group who joins my email list. So this is a really good one. So host a free training and either encourage people to sign up for that free training and collect their email address there, or that would be probably my primary suggestion. Or you could also conduct a free training on, say, Facebook Live or something, and then give them the opportunity to opt into like a free workbook or some kind of free tool that you're giving them, to show, to further give them value so that you can, and value that they will give your lead magnet, give you their email address in exchange for your lead magnet. There we go. So free trainings are a great way to do that. Look in Facebook groups, especially these big Facebook groups that have a lot of your ideal customers in them, right? So maybe you are, a Pinterest expert and you share your lead magnet on a promo day in the Boss Moms Facebook group, right? Every day, every week, maybe every month, I can't remember. The Boss Moms group has an opportunity for you to share your free offers, and they might actually do one for paid offers as well. And different groups do that sort of thing. So share on specific days, the days that are allowed. You don't want to get kicked out of the group for breaking group rules, right? But share your freebies in Facebook groups on their promo days. And you can really get a lot of new connections that way. Number 9 is something that a lot of people don't necessarily think about, but it kind of goes along with number 10. And that is create what I call a pretty link, or URL for your lead magnet that makes it really easy for you to share verbally or to drop in a group real quick and you can just type it out, right? So like I have a freebie that is, it's an email metrics calculator where you plug in the raw numbers of your email from your email reporting, and then it will actually calculate for you, if you're meeting your goals or for your open rate or your click-through rate or your click-to-open rate, right? So I have a URL. The default URL for that is something weird like lsquareddigitalmedia.com/email metrics calculator, right? And that's fine. At least it tells you what it is and it's not gobbledygook, but it's not particularly easy for somebody to remember or for me to remember. So I created a pretty link that is lindleyhips.com/ I believe it's email calculator. But the link's down there in the description if you want to find it. And the way that I did that is I created what's called a domain redirect on my website host provider, which in my case is SiteGround. So my website is hosted on SiteGround, and within the SiteGround site tools, their control panel, you have an option for domains, and you can create a redirect. And basically that just says, if somebody comes to lindleyhips.com/ email calculator, it will redirect them to your actual long, ugly URL. So you can say it very easily, but then it actually takes them to where it needs to go, right? And one of the reasons this is particularly useful is for being a guest on like a podcast or a training, or some sort of interview or something like that, where it's particularly where it's more verbal rather than written, right? So you can easily share using a pretty link. Verbally, you can share during the interview or where they can find more about you, that sort of thing. You can share it verbally with the audience, and they will be able to easily type it in themselves, and they don't have to go searching for a link from you. So pretty links are a great idea. There are a lot of ways you can create these. I mentioned the domain redirect on your website host. WordPress, there's probably a lot of these, but WordPress has a plugin that is actually called Pretty Links, which is probably why I call it that, that does exactly that thing. You can, there are people who, there's code that you can use that you can put on a page somewhere. There are URL shorteners like bit.ly. So you can define exactly what you want the end part of your URL to be, and it will redirect to that particular URL, etc. You could put the link to your lead magnet on, if you have a milkshake link or a link tree, or if you have like a social funnel that you can send somebody to and it has all of the different ways to contact you. That's a great way to be able to direct people to specific information that they might be looking for, right? So if you aren't able to easily do a pretty link to a specific lead magnet, you can absolutely do a pretty link to your milkshake or whatever. And that sounds funny. You can do a link to your milkshake profile, or to your link tree or something like that, to get them to it easily. So there we go. That's 10 ways that you can grow your email list without too much pain and consternation. So if you have other ways that you like to grow your email list, drop them in the comments. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, do all the things that the big YouTubers tell you to do, and I will be ever so grateful. Drop me any questions you have in the chat, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.